Hey guys, thanks for joining me this week on For All Things Lexington. It's the only show dedicated to Lexington, South Carolina. Here, you'll hear me talk to people, groups, bands, and organizations about where to go, what to do, and who's who in and all around our beautiful Lake Murray. I'm your host, Angela Barrett, and this is For All Things Lexington. Yeah, and they are great. I mean, like I said, I usually take and dog ear some things I want to go back to. And
but half of our public, our national desk per se has really done a great job of giving us stories that it might not be locally driven, but it's a story that people want to read about. You know, there's a reason people still get Good Housekeeping. Good Housekeeping doesn't tell you everything that's going on in Lexington, but people want to read it. So my editor, we get maybe an option of 10, 12 stories a month that they produce. And then my editor will, she'll call me and say, hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Here's a national story, or here's a recipe. Everybody loves recipes.
Sure.
So I had a transition on that one because that everybody loves recipes. Just find ones that are different.
Right.
Yeah. I'm always in search of, and I don't go too far ahead because I want to be responsive to what's going on in the community. So one of the things I'm not good at, like I couldn't tell you what's going on in July yet because we just put May to bed, literally this morning at 10 o'clock, got put to bed. So now we're on to June, our men's Father's Day, gents issue, and, we kind of have that laid out in July. I literally have no idea what we're going to do yet because I want to wait and see, what maybe do I hear in the community or things like that. And so it's challenging. It makes my editor a little like, Dad, we could plan 6 months ahead. We could, but we
it does make life a little easier.
Yes, it does.
Now your 5-year anniversary for Lake Murray Light Salt is in May, right?
Is in May. 5 years, 60 months of publishing.
So any big plan?
No. We talked about it. We barely mentioned it. With the magazine, I mean, it's important. It's a milestone for us, but I don't really know how important it is for what I really do. I mean, and maybe I'm underestimating that. I mean, 5 years is a great accomplishment. That we've lasted that long, and we've weathered tons of competition, and and I love anybody that wants to jump into what I do. It forces me to raise the bar. Raise my brand awareness, because if I can produce a better solution, because really that's really what we do. I sell solution.
Right. If
I don't sell the best solution to promote your brand, then you shouldn't even talk to me. My daughter would probably convince me to do something. I mean, like we had a cover that might be a 5-year anniversary cover, but as of now, I'm not picking that one. But I don't have to yet. I don't have to. I read 10 more days to choose the covers. So, I uploaded 10 photos for a cover option for May. I just didn't choose one.
I gotcha. I
don't know yet.
It's kind of like choosing a color of the wrong reason I've never had a brick house, and although that's usually the way to go for the resale value, biggest bang for your buck, but you're married to it.
Yeah.
I cannot do it. Give me something I can paint in 5 years, but I get it. So when we make that file, it's out there forever. It's done. We can't take it back.
No, it's, and oops, we made a mistake. We stumbled upon some mistakes. I mean, it's inevitable. And, as I told you, it's like, hey, we've made some. We'll fix it. We'll apologize for it.
Right.
We just need to keep it to a minimum. Because once... I always love getting the call after it. So I'm about 10 days away from when I hit the print button.
Yeah.
I mean, that means the print file is.
Right.
And when it goes, it doesn't come back.
That's right.
Because contractually, our printers, so because we print so many, nationwide, I mean, the average publisher prints 10,000 a month. So you can do them at 200 magazines, you can do the math. So we have 4 nationwide printers and that's where Kansas City, our city lifestyle, takes care of that. I'd love to print locally, but we have an economy of scale that 4 printers produce, that many, God knows how many copies,
Right.
2, 3, 4 million or whatever copies of that. We have since bought paper in advance. Interesting enough, COVID, forced, our national brand to, I believe, as I'm told, we stockpile paper 3 years in advance now.
Oh, wow.
So we've locked in that. We never missed through COVID. Fortunately, the powers out there, put us in the category of, the First Amendment or something.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Right to speech. And so since printers never shut down, we didn't miss a month, so
Yeah.
we're quite proud of that. It was touch and go. Sometimes I wasn't sure when we hit that print button that anybody was going to get. So,
So, talk about your advertisements. If somebody wants to be, have their business in your magazine, obviously they call you, but what's the process and how does that work?
Sure. So once we get engaged and, and really, I do go through a process of whether it's the right fit. All right. Because there's things we don't do. All right. One of the best examples, you're a professional realtor. Right. One of the best examples I have is we don't cater to first-time home buyers. Now, that's any realtor that, we're catering to first-time home buyers. It would be a disaster. They need to come in because that's not our target market. We target a very affluent market. To get my magazine now, it's, you can tell homes have gone up. We're almost at $500,000 to get a magazine, and it's kind of reverse engineered. Whatever the highest value is, which I don't care, and then we just go backwards. And, we're right around 14,000 or so in it. And it's pushing. When I first launched, it was like 350, so what that means to like a realtor is like, a first-time home buyer is not who we go after. So there are folks, my pizza guy jokes with me, hey, how come I'm never in? I said, well, how many pizzas can I really promote for you? It's not a, so we do go through the value of a client, short-term, your client, it's your numbers. It's always great. It's question value SKU that you give me the answer. And I always love when an advertiser says, well, where'd you get that? I said, I asked you the number. I asked you the question and give me the number. So, but what it does, it helps us to identify whether this is a good fit.
Because the magazine is going to a certain, like you said, demographic.
Yeah, we're laser focused on our target market, and I learned how to be a buyer as a targeted market buyer. We used to run ads in the Wall Street Journal back in the day, and it was very targeted to CFOs. We wanted CFOs to read this article. It was very financial driven, and CEOs didn't read it because it was too technical. We wanted CFOs because that's who, when I was calling on a bank, it was the CFO.
Right.
All right. So I learned to do that. It's like, so we target, it's very affluent. So there's 3 demographics there's 3 pieces of data that gets how you get my magazine. Home value is the primary driver.
Mm-hmm.
That's validated. Your monthly or annual income, that's just a question. You can tell them whatever you make, but most people are within reason, and the numbers usually work themselves out. And then net worth. But that's the database. We pay somebody to do that. But that's the 3 criteria. All right, those 3 have to line up. So you can technically own a $500,000 house and tell the database that you don't make any money, then you probably don't get my magazine. I don't want to say you don't make any money. I don't think that's true. But why should my advertisements go to you? We don't have any money.
Right.
But that's our demographics. And so when we go through, we meet. One of my criteria, anybody that gets in my magazine, I need to meet the owner of the company. Because that's who decides, that's who is ultimately going to hire me and or fire.
Sure.
So I want to know, I want a first name basis. I want to know, because we will have issues. That's just the nature of the beast. We have very rigid deadlines. That's a little bit different than some of my local competitors because they don't have this national presence that we do, good, bad, or indifferent. So, our deadlines are very rigid for us to, like today, I mean, I'm sure I'll get an email tomorrow with probably somebody that wants to edit a story that we did. And I said, that day was yesterday. And so then, we'll get involved in, we'll work out the economics of what's the right, I have an ad size for everybody's budget, from a quarter page to full page. We get numerous incentives to partner with us. I mean, I have numerous platforms from a business article we'll do to a brand new section we called City Scene, which is a photo essay of what you do. And it's included. So we give those kind of incentives, and then we go into at some point, maybe half our advertisers we have ad design, services that's included. And some want to go get their own ad, which is fine, as long as they get it to me by deadline.
Sure.
All right. And we also we have a very sophisticated client portal. We'll ask you to do some on your own. Right. Sure. Hold yourself accountable. Now, we'll do it, or we'll help you, but, hey, just log on. We have a do-it-yourself ad design. It's like paint by numbers. Right? Put your logo. What do you want to tell people? And then our ad designers will come up with that. And then the last component is I actually have a process that I've learned 20 some years ago of what's an effective ad. So I'm not an ad designer, but I am an ad writer. All right. And I have a 5-question sequence. All right. That will give you a numeric number, and it will tell you the likelihood of your ad responding. And if you're honest with your ad design, some people like it, some people don't. Put your ego aside, look at your ad, and answer the question. There's like question 1 might be multiple choice. A lot of people don't understand what call to action is. It just doesn't mean call me. That's not a call. That is a call to action. It's not a good one, but right. We're not a coupon magazine. We don't do it.
Right.
I never encourage. I try not to give what I do away.
Sure.
I like to get paid.
Right.
So we don't allow coupons. But it's a 5. It literally takes about 2 minutes just to answer the 5 questions, and then you get a grade.
Gotcha.
So I tell you got a 3.5 out of 5. I would tell you that's not passing, but it tells you how to fix it.
Huh.
And then some advertisers don't want to fix it. Some do.
Well, that's what makes the world go around.
But again, that's what, because I'm not here to sell. Like one of my sales platforms is I don't sell ads. I sell an advertising/marketing strategy to develop the best solution to promote your brand in the most cost-effective manner. You want to buy an ad? I can tell you who to call.
Right.
That's not what we do. It's not what we do. If you don't buy into this platform, then what we do,
right, then
that's okay. Sometimes you eat Italian, sometimes it's fish, whatever.
Right.
But that's what we want. And I think helping advertisers, because advertisers as ad businesses, is people get convinced by a very high pressure salesperson. Hey, buy this car. Hey, buy this house, whatever. You know that. I mean, when my wife and I bought many, many homes, the best thing a realtor can ever do for me, let me go.
Yes.
Don't tell me, and I'm sure you know this better than I do. Don't tell me how beautiful the kitchen is. It's only beautiful because you might think it's beautiful. Might not like white cabinets.
Right.
But she loves the kitchen. We can get beyond that. So really just kind of like, so a lot of what I do is like, hey, here's the magazine, our finish, we have a different finish than other people. There's a reason for that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I do like it. I like it a lot. So I do want to ask you this. I understand golf is just not a hobby for you.
It's certainly not an income producer.
Well, I mean, it's more than a hobby, as in you do a lot of it. So you play here locally a lot, or do you travel?
Yes. I do. I'm fortunate to belong to Lexington Country Club, or as I've learned, the club in the country. So
we're not, but
yeah, I'm fortunate enough. I think it's one of the, if you play enough golf, all right, and Lexington Country Club is not the prototype snobbish country club. I mean, it is a very grassroots, a lot of locals, and it's very affordable. If you play golf, and I do. My wife is a saint. She knows it's mental health for me. It's exercise for me. I walk. I treated myself to one of these little remote control things. So, I just follow it around, but it's a great course to walk. I do. I'm fortunate to play a fair amount. I should be better than I am, but I'm not. And but it's a great. But we do travel a lot. I love to play locally, whether it's Golden Hills or Mid Carolina across the dam. You meet a lot of folks in the golfing network, and it's great for business. Because and I've played golf for 40 years, and my belief from a boss of mine said, hey, if you can get a buyer to spend 4 to 5 hours with you on a golf course, chances are you'll form a relationship.
Right.
And it's a high probability that at some point they will buy.
Going to the Masters?
Fortunately, I'm not this year. I went last year. I didn't get tickets, and I was hoping. My son's in the Army, stationed at what is now Fort Eisenhower, and they have a lottery to get tickets for the officers or whomever, and he didn't get one this year. So,
oh no!
So no, I will not be attending this year. But I get every other year. I'm all right with that. So,
I think that you and I talked 2 weeks ago. I'm not even sure, and you have a new grandbaby.
I do, literally 4 weeks.
Congratulations again. Yeah. How many does that make for you now?
So I have 4 now. Yeah, my wife and I, unfortunately, we have 4. So we have 3 children. I'd be remiss to not talk about my family as everybody's family. So my son's a major in the Army, Citadel grad. Went right to the Army. It's the only thing he ever wanted to do. He wouldn't have surveyed a life if it hit him over the head. Probably get mad at me on that one, but he's just wanted to go in the Army, and from the word go. So he is married, and he has 2 boys, and 2 boys, 3 and 1. My daughter is married to a local young man that worked in the business world locally, and then they fell in love, and and he's a Citadel grad as well, and he decides to go in the Air Force. And he takes her away. So it's, but he's an Air Force pilot, and so they just moved to. So she's my editor, but she can do it from anywhere.
Sure.
And now they're down in Pensacola, so she's the latest. They just had their second 8 girls. So my son has 2 boys, my daughter has 2 girls.
Oh,
literally, she's just a month old.
Oh, how precious. Well, congratulations.
That's being, I don't know if you have grandchildren, so it took us a while to get any,
Well, I'm in your boat then. I'm starting, I'm not sure it's going to happen, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
that's his decision.
No, we have our youngest is 25, and she's an ER nurse up in Charlotte, and I'm not sure when that will ever happen, but that's fine. Each his own, and
that's right.
So so we're fortunate to to have 4, and being a grandparent it's totally different. You don't get prepared for it because you don't know what it is. Just like having kids. Yeah. It was like people say, "Oh, no, we're prepared to have kids."
Yeah, no,
you don't know that. You don't know. And being a grandparent, it's kind of the rental plan because you get to give them back.
Yeah.
But they're just to to be called pop up and just things like that.
So what do they call your wife?
So my wife, her mom was to our kids. Her mom was called Mom. So my wife was very partial that since my son and daughter asked, "What would you like to be called?" I didn't really care. Grandpa, Pop. I said either one. But my wife was very partial to Mama. It just, it meant a lot because that's what they called her mom. And so they call her Mom. So she is my mom.
Nice. Yeah, when my son was little, he called my mother. Now, he eventually started calling on what the other grandchildren did. But Big Mama. Now, she was, it wasn't his actual size, but somehow, even at that age, he knew she was older or, bigger in his eyes, not physically bigger, because she was this big.
Well, I mean, my wife is 5'1".
Yeah.
Booming I won't say the weight because she doesn't weigh much, but whatever number I pick, it's too.
It's going to be wrong. Just
Yeah. So
stop.
and then my first daughter is kind of right in line.
Yeah.
They joke about, wish we made 5'2".
Yeah. I'd have been glad to make any out of that.
But then my third one found some of my son's height. I mean, she's like 5'6". So
Yeah.
where that came from, I don't know. But so
Yeah. But Big Mama, that was what he called my mom. So it was always funny. Later in life, he just called what Grandma like the rest of the grandchildren did. But anyway, well, thank you so much for being here. Tell everybody how they get in touch with you. One, I guess, if they think there's a story that nobody's heard, or they want to see your program laid out.
yeah, so we're always in search of stories. I mean, you can follow us on social media at Lake Murray Lifestyle. That's our Facebook and our Instagram account. You can always tag us. We're always looking for, tell us something that nobody else told, and that'll get us attention. Don't tell me how good the Gamecocks are going to be, because my daughter she is a Gamecock, and I avidly support them.
Sure.
Just not in the bag, that.
Right. Absolutely. I get it.
That's not in the magazine, and God forbid Clemson Tiger would be in it. No.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I definitely agree with you. I was just kidding.
Yeah. So that's where you can always check us out. Our website it's a dual branding website called citylifestyle.com/Lake Murray, or just thelakemurraylifestyle.com.
Yeah.
Either one will redirect to, you can get the digital version, our newsletter version. And if you send me an email and say, hey, I don't get the magazine, the physical copy, I certainly can add you to our system. I won't question what kind of home you have. So,
right.
So that is that. Nobody ever calls me, but you can call me at 803-373-2210. Love to chat.
Now your phone's going to blow up.
Yeah, I love this. So I answer almost all the time, except when I'm on the golf course. So if I don't answer,
which is a lot.
yeah, then he must be on there. But yeah, but we try to fit in a niche that's different, because buyers have so many solutions out there, and and it's like, just trust the one that you go to, and and just know what you're buying into. Like, I find many people that don't know the demographics. Oh, we bought into this, and like when I buy a billboard. I buy billboards. Like, I want to know how many pushes does it get?
Right.
How many, radio time. I'll pop on the radio, and it's like, like, who's listening at 7:30 in the morning? Because that's what you sold me.
Right.
So just be aware of, just know what you're buying. Digital has a platform. If you need your phone to ring tomorrow, that's not what we do. That's not the platform. That's what digital and Google ads do and things like that. So
right.
We're launching that platform. We're not there yet, but that's probably the next stage of our growth. So, it's a fascinating place. And so we came here 11 years ago.
Yep.
The Clipper World brought us here, and we acquired a firm here. And it's such a beautiful area that I literally left the corporate world to stay here, because my boss wanted, it's like, oh, we got one more move for you. And I said, I don't think so. Our daughter went to Lexington High School and fell in love with that. And I said, no, I think it's time for us to, I don't think he thought I would do it, and I didn't think they would make me do it. And so it was all good. It ended, things work for reasons. We're a very faith-based family. Our magazine, which we're very proud of, is a very faith-based magazine. We quote scripture in it subtly, very subtly.
Sure.
Because we are sensitive to that. We are a direct mail publication, and you have to be sensitive to who gets your magazine. Like, you don't get a choice to get my magazine. Well, you're right. Per se, you don't. So we're very careful about what we say, what we do. We don't get involved in politics and religion per se and things like that. And
right.
Even our nonprofits, we have to be careful about how we tell those stories.
Yeah, I kind of hold to that saying.
Yeah. So Sam, met my wife in college. I'd be remiss to not drop it. That we are college sweethearts, and didn't live near each other, and thought we're getting married way too early. But pre-cell phones, which actually, folks, there was a lot of time frame where we didn't have cell phones and
That's right.
internet, and you called Sunday
My
night.
first phone was a bag phone. Do you remember?
And this is nothing bad phones, and but I know back you called Sunday night after 11
Right.
because the rates went down, and then you squeezed in everything you could in a week. Hey, what'd you do? What didn't you do?
Right.
So, but we weathered that, and then she's been fortunate or not fortunate. I've been fortunate that she's kind of put up and let us do this, and now we enjoy doing it, and love the chambers and things like that.
Yes.
And getting opportunities like you reached out. I was excited that somebody actually wants to chat.
Yeah, well, I love the magazine, so I said, and follow on Facebook and all those good social media places, LinkedIn and other places. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask.
Well, actually, let's everybody come. Follow us. Come to our events. Our events are always free. Whether you want to network or just have a beer on me. The event coming up somewhere in May. We did it last year, and we had 100 people, and had the 2 golf pros, and just kind of give lessons on the putting green, and it was just fun. Something. We always look for something. Again, what's different?
Sure.
Like what gets you out of when you get up in the morning. What who do you want to listen to, and what gets you motivated? And I'm always in search of who do you want to listen to? Who do you not want to listen to?
Right.
What event do you want? Networking. I network a lot, but why do you want to go to a networking event? Hey, come learn golf. Might be something different.
Sounds great. Yeah, I'll have to. I didn't make the one at Crawley Mill, and I was sad about it. I don't know what came up, but I was like, dang it, I'm doing this.
It's what we all have so many things,
I know.
and it's and that's partly, we live in a beautiful area. The weather's nice most of the time. Most of the time. It's no snow, so I would say it's all the time for me.
Yeah.
We don't get snow anymore, which is good.
I would like it once a year, but
I like to visit it once a year and leave. I don't want it here. I don't have a shovel, and we have no plows, so we.
Right. I do tell everybody when they move here, I'm like, do not get upset when everything shuts down because we have snow once in 5 years. Enjoy it. Unplug your phones. And enjoy it because nothing's open and you're not going anywhere because they're running them out. Just enjoy it.
I could not agree with you more, Steve.
Right. Well, thank you again.
Nope. Thank you. And everybody follow us on our podcast and, spread the word. We love to chat, and more importantly, we want to tell your story. So
absolutely.
All right. So thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with me today, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or know someone you'd like to see on the show, contact me at forallthingslexington.com. That's the number 4, allthingslexington.com.
For All Things Lexington has been brought to you in part by Lake Murray Lifestyle Magazine and by Angela Barrett at HomeMattersSC.com, building on what matters to you.